Don't let anyone fool you guys, Liverpool's first season under Arne Slot has been nothing short of a massive success. From smart tactical tweaks that have won us crucial games to unlocking unexpected standout players like Gravenberch, Slot has put his own stamp on Anfield, and now we're charging full speed ahead toward the league title. One that hopefully will be lifting soon enough, but with summer approaching and after the disappointments in the Champions League and EFL Cup, we all know big changes are on the horizon. Some of them are obvious like transfers, while others are brewing beneath the surface, ready to shake up Liverpool's future in ways we might not see coming. So, before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let's break down the 5 major changes Arne Slot is set to make this summer. And first on the list, a change we were already expecting to happen last summer, revamping the left flank. There's no denying it, Andy Robertson has been a Liverpool legend, but at 31, it's fair to say his best years might be behind him. On top of that, his overall skill set doesn't quite align with how Slot wants his fullbacks to play. Meanwhile, Kostas Tsimikas has had his moments, but let's be honest, he hasn't fully convinced as a long-term successor. That's why Liverpool are already making moves for a new left-back, with Bournemouth's Milos Kerkez emerging as a prime target. Of course, there are other names in the mix, like Fulham's Anthony Robinson, Ajax's Jarell Hato, and a few more. If you want a deep dive on any of these players, let us know in the comments and we'll break it all down for you. Now, signing Kerkez, or someone with a similar profile, would directly address both Robertson's aging curve and Tsimikas' limitations. Slot will likely integrate the new left-back as either a direct starter or serious competition for Robertson. And unlike the current options, this fresh arrival is expected to be more suited to Slot's tactical demands, like bombing forward when needed, while also tucking into midfield to help balance the team defensively. But that's not the only defensive change on the horizon. Slot is also looking to bolster Liverpool's depth at centre-back. Right now, the squad has just 4 centre-backs, and 2 of them, in Ibrahima Konate and Joe Gomez, have had their fair share of injury struggles. So don't be surprised if Liverpool move for a young centre-back this summer, someone who can increase competition at the back. Adding a defender with extra pace or height would also help cover for any potential Van Dijk absences and strengthen set-piece defence, something that could be crucial next season. Simply put, a defensive reshuffle is coming. New faces will arrive to keep the backline elite and future-proof. But this shake-up isn't just about Robertson or Tsimikas. It ties directly into another massive change Liverpool need to address as soon as possible: the contract situation. Arne Slot and the board have a huge decision to make: re-sign or replace key stars. The futures of Salah, Van Dijk and Alexander-Arnold will be one of the biggest off-field storylines this summer. It's almost certain that Liverpool will go all out to secure new contracts for Trent and Van Dijk, as they are cornerstone figures in the squad. Locking them down long term would remove a massive cloud of uncertainty. Besides, letting world-class players walk away for free, that's never a good look. The more complicated situation, however, is Mohamed Salah. After another record-breaking season, Liverpool are expected to put a strong offer on the table to keep him, but if Salah signals that he won't renew, Slot and the club will have no choice but to start planning for life without him. That could mean a blockbuster attacking signing this summer, someone capable of stepping into that right-wing role, or at the very least contributing 15 to 20 goals to help fill the void. Potential replacements could include someone like Jared Bowen, who already knows the league inside out, or if Liverpool want to go big, why not push for a superstar like Rafael Leao? Of course, that will depend on the budget and how the transfer market unfolds. On the other hand, if Salah stays, Slot may still look to refresh the forward line by bringing in a young winger or striker who can be groomed as his eventual successor. Either way, big moves in attack should be expected. Whether it's a marquee signing or an heir apparent, Liverpool must ensure their front line remains lethal for years to come. This summer could also bring final decisions on underperforming or underused forwards. If Slot isn't convinced that Darwin Núñez fits his tactical approach, the club may consider cashing in on him and targeting a striker better suited to the system. And speaking of strikers, if you haven't checked out our video on Alexander Isak yet, be sure to give it a watch. Now that we've covered the defense and attack, it's time to talk about another area set for a major shake-up. Midfield. Liverpool's midfield has been performing brilliantly this season, but Slot will still want to fine-tune the engine room. One likely adjustment is bringing in a natural holding midfielder to either support or even start over Ryan Gravenberch, while the Dutchman has adapted to the number 6 role, having a specialist defensive midfielder. Someone in the Fabinho mould, or a younger, more dynamic option who would give Slot greater tactical flexibility. A proper defensive midfielder would add much needed physicality and ball-winning ability, especially in tough away games or when Liverpool need to protect a lead. But it's not just about defensive work. This player also needs to be efficient on the ball, with strong positional awareness to fit Slot's system. We all know Slot prefers his number 6 to sit behind the opposition's first pressing line, but at times this approach has limited Liverpool's build-up play, forcing the team to go long more often than ideal. A new midfielder who can drop into the backline, stay on the move to open passing lanes, and create space would be a game changer in improving the team's control in possession. This is exactly why Liverpool targeted Martin Zubimendi last summer, so we fully expect the club to revisit this position once again in the transfer market. Another key reason why a new midfielder is needed: the sheer workload on Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai this season. And that brings us to the fourth major change. Arne Slot is going to start rotating his squad more. This season, Liverpool's rotation has been tight, maybe even too tight. Slot has relied heavily on a core group of 13 to 14 players, which has inevitably led to fatigue issues. Salah, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and Van Dijk have played relentless minutes, while some bench options, like Federico Chiesa, have barely seen the pitch. Expect that to change next season. Slot will likely expand his rotation, giving more game time to squad players while integrating new signings. This means more opportunities for young talents like Harvey Elliott and potentially returning players like Ben Doak, who have shown promise but haven't been fully unleashed yet. In practical terms, this could mean Liverpool fielding a B+ team in the early rounds of cup competitions and even in certain league games against lower opposition. Klopp did this at times, but Slot may take it even further. The days of Salah or Szoboszlai playing every single game could be coming to an end, with deliberate squad management ensuring key players get the rest they need. Instead of relying on 13 or 14 core players, expect a more balanced integration of 18 to 20 squad members, helped by smart additions in the summer. And now, on to the final major change Slot will implement this summer and into next season: more tactical tweaks and better plan Bs. With a full season of Premier League experience under his belt, Slot is likely to introduce new tactical wrinkles to address the few situations that have troubled Liverpool. One of the biggest changes could be the development of a more defined plan B for breaking down stubborn defences. While Liverpool have improved against low blocks compared to previous seasons, these deep, compact defences still cause problems at times. That's why we might see Liverpool occasionally shift to a 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1 setup with a second striker when chasing a goal. Slot has already experimented with this in late game situations, bringing on Nunez to partner Jota up front. Next season, he could formalise this approach as a go-to option, perhaps deploying Salah as a central striker alongside Nunez or Gakpo in a 4-4-2 diamond, or pushing a midfielder higher up to create a front four. Another possible tweak involves in-game formation fluidity, which ties back to the midfield adjustments we mentioned earlier. Instead of Trent inverting into midfield, Slot might opt for a different build-up structure, with the number 6 dropping into the backline to create a temporary back 3 in possession. This could help overload different areas of the pitch and disrupt opponents who have become accustomed to Liverpool's usual 4-2-4 shape. Set pieces are another area Slot could look to refine. Don't be surprised if Liverpool bring in a dedicated set-piece coach, or at least spend pre-season working on more creative routines for corners and free kicks. We've already seen glimpses of how well choreographed set plays can be effective. Just look at that goal against City. Turning this relative weakness into a strength could add an extra dimension to Liverpool's attack. Defensively, Slot might also shake things up by introducing alternative pressing schemes. Perhaps we'll see a more aggressive man-to-man pressing approach rather than the passive 4-2-4 mid-block that caused issues at times this season. So, there you have it. 5 major changes Arne Slot should or is set to make this summer. With a revamped defense, midfield tweaks, increased rotation, and tactical adjustments, Liverpool are gearing up for an exciting new era. Slot has already made his mark in his first season, but the real challenge begins now. Can he take this team to an even higher level? One thing's for sure, this summer will be massive for Liverpool's future. Whether it's big signings, new tactical approaches, or key contract decisions, every move will shape the club's trajectory for years to come. Will Salah extend his stay, or will Liverpool go all out for a blockbuster attacking signing? And which areas do you think need the most improvement? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more deep dives into Liverpool's season. Until next time.